if you were in the world of influencers, if you actually want to hit that crash of influencers with mega money, you know, 1 million is a platform to get there.
Yes, agreed.
But you chose not to go, I want the 100 million followers.
It's a lonely lifestyle. Like, I sat in my bedroom every day making 3 videos and live streaming for 4 hours. The actual day to day, I'm like, this is the most depressing. My best friend, the person I saw most was my mum.
Welcome to the glamorous world of TikTok. This is the short-form video platform which launched in 2014 and has now grown to 1 billion monthly active users, a behemoth of the social world, famous for super creative collaborations between users like the Sea Shanty collab, which became so successful mid-pandemic. It started with lip-sync dances and makeup tutorials, but now includes Excel tips and, yes, hospitality businesses, which are starting to pour in and drive customers to their venues with it. Victoria Banham is a former influencer of 1 million followers. She now runs a hospitality TikTok agency called Antler Social, whose clients include Honest Burgers. I had to catch up with her to find out how TikTok is changing the way that restaurants and other hospitality businesses do marketing.
I've never used TikTok.
Excellent. Glad I'm here.
How is it different from platforms that we're more familiar with that have come before it?
So I guess the main thing from my perspective is that TikTok is all about community. You don't really have that sense of togetherness now on Instagram or Facebook for sure. So you have trends and challenges and music and sounds and all of these different things that bring people together that everyone creates content for together.
There are quite big individual accounts on that, right?
If you've got 1 million followers on Instagram and you're getting 100,000 likes, if I've got 10 followers on Instagram, I'm not going to get 100,000 likes. Whereas if on TikTok, if you've got those same figures,
it's easier to go viral.
Easier, I think it's just a fairer playing field.
Just in terms of the physicality about how it works, there's a feed. Like with most of them.
I'm going to let you do this one.
I've literally never used it, by the way. This isn't me playing dumb. I've never used TikTok. What I'm imagining is actually there's very little navigational control. You swipe, and it keeps feeding you based on your reactions. And maybe you can click on a trend button somewhere. TikTok there's no pretense that you're building your own feed.
It's all algorithm.
It's all algorithm.
But you do have another feed called the following feed, but that is kind of like a secondary, and I actually have never heard of anybody going onto the follow feed. I don't use the follow feed.
You're starting to get more, well, I was astonished. There was this woman selling Excel courses.
Oh, she's amazing.
You know her?
Of course, yeah, she's amazing. I can't remember what her username is now.
She's making 300 grand a day.
Yeah.
A quick note from Adam here. Of course I was amazed. She actually makes $300,000 per month.
And she's genius. But like, think of that. Like, if you thought of a niche on TikTok, and she didn't exist, and somebody went, I'm gonna just make videos of Excel, you'd go, that is fucking bull. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, okay. Swear away.
Not assume that that's a niche that anybody would care about, but the way that she's created that has made it engaging. And when I started, when it was Musical.ly, the massive area was the singing, lip syncing, dancing, like very two-dimensional content. With Corona and the huge influx of people coming onto the platform, there's been a massive speed change. It's paved way for the newer, more mature areas of interest having limelight.
What are some of the mature areas of interest?
So fitness is a huge one. Like, if you're 13, you're not really going to care about like nutrition, carbs, like keto diets, but that is something that people really focus on. So now gym is a huge area. Diet or just like food in general, or teaching people about nutrition, like that's a huge sector. Something that we are seeing coming through is more like the alcohol area, and obviously it's still a 50-50 it's just a grey area really on TikTok as to whether you post about it or not, but cocktail recipes and bartenders and all of that sort of thing is now coming into play. So that's a really interesting one that I'm fascinated by.
Old people, that's right, people in their late 20s, are now on TikTok, and they bring their disposable incomes with them. You're listening to Served With Podcast, and you need to subscribe in the next 5 seconds, or you too will eventually get old. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the show.
I work for a hospitality business. I think of TikTok, I've just heard about TikTok.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. I'm excited to get my fill of dog videos and Excel videos and gym videos. If I wanted to ideate a social media strategy for my business that is TikTok focused, what would be the starting point? How should I begin that process?
I mean, download the app would be a great start. If we have a new client, we'll always scope out what's currently on the platform. So is it we're tackling a whole new niche, which chances are at this point probably not. Conversation, any hashtag views around it. So say if we've got a pizza company, hashtag pizza slice, hashtag pizza talk. Like, what is the current conversation and what does that content look like? What's the most popular? Is there a creator? Is there a brand? Like, who's doing it well at the moment on the platform that we want to mimic or take inspiration from or benefit off of? You know, we always are down this like reactive, trend-focused route because it's so powerful.
How long do the trends last?
It can be anything from a day, maybe a week. You probably at most got like 10 days in a trend.
So it is, as far as thinking in like business days and business planning cycles, it's fast.
So fast.
The actual, instead of running it like a production process, you've actually got to be just constantly pinging off whatever's there.
Exactly that. You wake up in the morning, you see a video like, oh, I've got an idea, I'm going to go make it, and then you post it that afternoon. It is that quick. You can't really have month-long, 2-month, quarterly content calendars because you don't know what's going to happen. So you can't predict. Or at the very most, you can put like fillers in, like Easter Monday, I don't know, Blue Monday, like all of these like staple days that will have some sort of conversation. I mean, you can set targets, absolutely, and that helps you with like a plan. But for TikTok, it's just like use it as an experimentation period.
I do some research.
Yeah.
I say that Store Kit customer and market leader Bussy Roof.art has 1 billion followers on TikTok.
That's a lot.
I've not checked. Is there any generalizations you can make about what content works?
What content does work?
What content does work?
So obviously vertical to start with, because a lot of people post it like wide, and I'm like, that isn't why have you done that? Your sweet spot is still 7 seconds, but you know you can go up to 10 minutes now. It's like attractive, aesthetically pleasing food, that like mouth-watering, all of that sort of stuff. That does amazing as like bulk content. You just can't go wrong with that. If you're a pizza place, for example, and I keep going back, it's just in my mind for some reason. Like cheese pulls, I don't know, like pizzas being made, like all of that sort of stuff. ASMR, like
ASMR means what?
I have never ever known what those letters stand for.
So autonomous sensory meridian response.
I mean, I was never going to get that, was I?
I don't know. Is a relaxing, often sedative sensation that begins on the scalp and moves down the body. What?
Yeah. So if you have like a noise
triggered by placid sights and sounds such as whispers, accents, and crackles.
Yeah, exactly.
He watches a channel which is a woman eating seafood.
Oh my god, she has these massive like sea cucumbers. They're disgusting. Because I don't know, she's so small. I'm like, where are you putting that whole platter? And what is that?
Yeah. It's
Oh my god, it's foul. Actually, just the thought of it is making me feel a bit ill. But some people love it. Comments are like, this is sending tingles down my spine. I'm like, is it? It's making me want to throw up.
It's amazing. No, it's like...
It's shocking.
I quite like it.
So those educational formats are brilliant. One of the biggest hashtags is hashtag learn on TikTok. Well, not one of the biggest hashtags, but a huge hashtag is hashtag learn on TikTok, which was a massive campaign they did mid-lockdown that has just since carried on. And it's all educational, so that can be in any capacity if you're learning something. It can be like as blunt as did you know, or it can be here's how to make my 3-step pasta or whatever.
Yeah.
Like mukbangs, like formats that people are just...
Mukbangs?
Mukbangs.
I've not heard of a mukbang.
Mukbangs when you just sit and you have like a meal and you just chat shit for like an hour and people just watch you eat food.
A mukbang?
Mukbang, yeah.
M-U-K. Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you said mukbang.
You know what mukbangs are?
No, I really don't.
I might be saying it wrong.
This is a live... No, there's no word that sounds like that I know. You're not saying it wrong. I just don't know what it is.
It's not even close.
This is. But you've got to have a big account already, right?
Not necessarily.
This is a live streaming. This is live streaming.
But people make videos of it. If we sat and had a whole level of like KFC down here, and we had a whole feast, this would be a mukbang.
Right. Should I have bought KFC?
I would love a KFC.
Should we order one?
No.
If I was a restaurant or a bar.
Yeah. You could do that. That's quite a creator-led format.
Yeah,
so,
it is quite creator-led, isn't it?
But you could invite creators down to your restaurant and then they could host a mukbang if that's something that they do. So then it's trend by trend, right? So then you've got all sorts of different sounds, sound bites, trends, transitions. Like there's so many different pockets, and we could honestly talk here. We could sit here and talk about it for hours because the list is endless of like how people create content on TikTok because it's so different to everything else.
This is Served With Podcast, and did you hear that you can use those same videos you'd be making for food items on TikTok in your Store Kit menu? Store Kit loads multimedia content so that you can express your menu in the most compelling way possible, which is particularly good for theatrical items like cocktails.
My hot take.
Yes.
People don't follow brands, they follow individuals.
Yeah.
How far is that true on TikTok?
Like, absolutely true. And I think the brands that are seeing success are the ones that have an individual as the face of it.
Right.
Or utilize that personality aspect. You can't come onto TikTok and be a two-dimensional brand. Like McVitie's is a great example. Do you work with McVitie's? In any capacity?
No,
okay, great. I'm just checking that you haven't had any like...
Slam McVitie's.
It's going to be like, really sorry. But they have super branded. It's very advertising. Like it feels like I'm watching a TV ad. It's not very personality led. It's very like, here's what I think Gen Z will want to consume. Therefore, I'm going to create that. It's scale. It's not hospitality, but you know, Ryanair is something that everyone always talks about, and they're just a great example of Duolingo too. And actually, in the hospitality space, Joe and the Juice is 10 out of 10. They have just come up out of nowhere and they're exploding because they use personality. They see, okay, me as an individual, say I'm the social media manager of Joe and the Juice. I want to see X content as a person, so I'm going to create that content and appeal to the people, not appeal to the brand orientated aspect of it, because people don't care. But I think there's still space for brands as long as that personality is kind of coming through.
How do you then? So I'm a brand, and I've decided I'm not going to do it myself. Okay. I'm a founder. I don't want to do it myself.
Too good for that.
I'm too good for that. I'm busy thinking about other things. ASMR.
Valid,
I'm watching my favorite seafood. In a lot of companies, people are quite precious about what gets put out, to the point where what's good for growing a channel and what the board and top brass are comfortable putting out at the top end of the spectrum. What top brass would like is to put out McVitie's advertising content and for everybody to respond and go, yes, we love McVitie's.
Exactly.
But that's not the reality of the channel. The reality of the channel is that an individual's got to come out and make some
down with the kids.
Some things where they can't even get a manager to sign off on it because they've got to do it on a one-day feedback loop, and it's drenched in personality. It's really responsive. How do you square that circle? I mean, is it just about finding someone you really trust?
I think, for the most part, from our perspective or our experience, we've been quite lucky where people have gone, we know that this is what TikTok needs. It's not a secret, and it's blaringly obvious like what is required of TikTok. We want success. You know what you're doing. You just suggest something. And also, like, I am quite blunt about it. I'm like, if you like, I don't know why you want to do like an advert. It's a stupid idea. Like, don't do that because like you're coming to me for advice. Like, you want to see success on TikTok. I'm not going to look to you for an opinion.
In a way, that's what that's the freedom of the agency approach a little bit, because if you did it in house, then the power relationship is slightly more.
Agreed with that.
And therefore, there tends to be poorer in-house TikTok functions.
Yes, but also maybe no. If they don't have any understanding, it should just be like, I'm not the right person to put my opinion forward for that.
Yeah.
This is Served With Podcast, and I don't have an opinion on how you should use your TikTok, but I do have an opinion of what you should do with your Store Kit. One of my favourite menus is the Juicy Brothers, who use Store Kit for click and collect, an absolute masterclass in refinement and food photography. I encourage you to check them out.
Like, that is what's going to work.
Are there some hospitality TikTok brands? So if I'm setting out to start my TikTok as a hospitality brand, are there brands that you would specifically point to that you admire, that you think do a really great job?
I mean, honest burger and sides, obviously.
I'm going to list my own clients that I manage.
I've got my own little roster. No, there's a few that I'm obsessed with. Joe and the Juice is a recent find, and I just think they're fantastic. Like, they have just smashed it out the park. They're so quick on trends. They actually create funny content that is relevant to the brand, but it's not solely about a juice, because I think it's just really smart when people find a way to incorporate it that's a bit more subtle. It's really good. But Toby Carvery, also an unsuspecting winner. Like, they're so good.
Toby Carvery, really?
Yeah, and potatoes. So that's all they buy. It's brilliant.
People do love Gravery.
Gravery. But if you scroll down, I love going to the end of people's feeds and seeing how they've got from start to now, because TikTok's so quick, and you start and you might post something and you'll never post a video like that ever again. And they started doing like almost interview formats where they had the people of Toby Carvery featuring in it, and now it's just sound bites featuring like, when they bring out the fresh batch of potatoes, and it's like, that's the content that people love. Another brand that's interesting, that have obviously taken inspo from Ryanair, because Ryanair found a niche, a type of content that's brilliant.
Right, so I'm sorry, so
The airline.
Yeah, no, yeah, but what do Ryanair do that's so good?
So they have the funniest person of all time running their TikTok account.
Really?
But they found a niche that is there's a filter that's just got like eyes and lips, and you can create kind of an anonymous person. So they have their plane, and then they put this eyes and lips filter over the top, and that really blew up kind of like early last year.
And what was the brand you were about to say?
Was Nando's have adopted that, and whilst yes, it works, I just feel like it's there's so much more that you can do, and Joe and the Juice is a great example. That there's such a wealth of opportunity in terms of content.
You know what's interesting? Joe and the Juice, Toby Carvery, Ryanair, right? And when you first said that, I was sort of thinking, oh, of course Joe and the Juice do well. You can see they're slick, it's urban, it's visual, it's modern. You would expect it to be staffed by people who really understand media. And then you said Toby Carvery, and I went, oh, Toby Carvery, great. But I don't care about Joe and the Juice content. I want to see Toby Carvery's content. And then you said Ryanair, and those last two brands actually don't take themselves super seriously.
No, personality. Ryanair is easily one of the most loved brands for Gen Z. 100%. Like, they are so like aware. They've got people in the US now requesting, and I think they're looking to launch in the US. They poke fun at other brands, they show off their personality, they talk to people in a way that Gen Z talks. So for example, there's all this terminology on TikTok like bestie, girly, POV, which is like point of view, and all these different things.
This is really dangerous territory, right? If I'm a brand, if I'm Toby Carvery, if I'm a 45-year-old man, if I'm a 45-year-old man who owns my rooftop bar, I should absolutely not touch the word bestie.
Why?
Because it's hey kids, how you doing?
It's very crusty.
You've
is
got
that crusty
from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's from a meme where it's what's his name? Steve Buscemi. Okay. With a skateboard capped on. There's a meme. You've seen. You must.
I don't know what meme you're talking about.
As if you've not seen the. You're a proper internet person, right? You've made your whole business.
I might know it by reference. I don't know names.
Made your whole business on the internet. That's Nando saying bestie on the channel.
I know, I get that. But if it comes from a place of authenticity, aka Ryanair, where it is clearly
you've got to have an actual young person saying it.
Yeah, because it's how you integrate it into normal conversation. Like, you can't just put like, thanks bestie. Like, I don't know. There's ways that just it falls flat. But if you're like trying to tap into the younger demographic, which is what TikTok primarily is, then you've got to kind of live and breathe that. And as a 45-year-old man, you haven't got the same interests, you haven't got the same conversation.
The Verge writes, how do you do, fellow kids, has become the how do you do, fellow kids of memes, coming as it does from a 2006 television show and now totally detached from its own context, floating through the minds of older millennials. Maybe TikTok is a 28-year-old man realizing that he's out of touch. But platforms age too. As TikTok proliferates to podcasts like this one and marketers and brands begin to set up shop, maybe a phase of life has been passed and TikTok is beginning to gaze upon the ugliness of middle age. It's like Vic says.
Because it was amazing. And so I was
some of the magic lost now?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. You're saying it was amazing.
No,
it was an early days excitement to a lot of these things.
It was
right?
nostalgic. It's beautiful. Like that journey was amazing. Like we just all believed in this platform so much as creators, and now it's like, oh yeah, TikTok. Like I know TikTok. Whereas it was kind of like this like hidden gem at that time, where we were like, wow, like this is going to become something, and everyone's like tutting at it. There was videos like Musically's got the most like cringeworthy stuff, and I was like, you don't even know what you're missing.
There's cringe stuff on all the
everything. That's what I always used to say. Oh my god, the amount of Twitter threads early 2018 where I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. There's everywhere.
There's cringe stuff every platform all the time.
But it was
every demographic too. Although different demographics make you cringe in different ways.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, Musically was rife for cringe. It was like a feeding ground for YouTube content at that time.
Hey there, boomer. Want your venue to be on fleek, to be Gucci? Listen, I almost wrote a whole bit of describing mobile ordering in outdated terms for cool, but I actually found it too excruciating. So I'll tout only the tangible benefits instead. It helps businesses through the ongoing staff crisis, and with summer coming up, it is particularly good for managing large outdoor areas. If that's you, drop us a line right now and chat with one of our fantastic venue partnership teams about your venue to get set up before summer. Or subscribe for more conversations like this one to help grow your hospitality business.